Today we're going to look at the equation of a line and how to find two or more points on that line. First of all, it's worth noting that x and y are always elements of the real number system. They never tell you that in coordinate geometry because it's a given. We assume that any number that can be substituted into x and y are going to be elements of the real number system. So, just to recap, 2x plus y equals 3 is an equation that represents a line. And if I were to ask you to find a point on this line, you could find any point whatsoever by just subbing in any sort of number for x and find y, or for y and find x. Let's say, for example, let y equal to 1. And let's substitute that in. So, 2x plus 1 equals 3. I can bring this over the far side now. So I have 2x equals to 3 minus 1. 2x is equal to 2. So x is equal to 1 by dividing both sides by 2. So the point I have now is 1, 1. And that's a point on the line 2x plus y is equal to 3. And I can check that. So, for example, if I put 1 in for x and put 1 in for y, I can see that 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So that point is on the line. Similarly, I could let x equal to a number. So let's say, for example, we let x equal to 2. So if I let x equal to 2, I have 2 by 2 plus y equals 3. That gives me 4 plus y equals 3. So y equals 3 minus 4. Y is equal to 1 minus 1. So that point now is 2 minus 1. And that is a point on the line 2x plus y equals to 3. And if I take this point, which you can do in your own time, and put it into this equation here, I should get that it is equal to 3. Okay, so there are two very important points that we're going to look at in this video. So we're going to look at the x and y intercept. They're two really important points, but they're also very useful points because anytime we need to find a point on a line where we're given the equation, we can use this skill to find the point. So the first one is the x-intercept, and that's normally where the line crosses the x-axis. So we can see that the x-axis is here, and we can see where the line crosses the x-axis is this point here, which is 4, 0. Okay, so that's where it crosses the x-axis. Now this is really important here as well, that sometimes they call that where the line cuts the x-axis. If you're looking at exam questions, they can say the x-intercept, where the line crosses the x-axis, or where the line cuts the x-axis. And then we also have the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. We can see it here at 0 minus 3. And that can also be described as where the line cuts the x-axis. So just be mindful of that. So I've just shown you how to find the x and y intercept from the equation of a line by reading it from the graph. So we know that the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis and the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So the equation that represents this line here in the graph is 3x minus 4y is equal to 12. And if I want to find the x-intercept for that, all I have to do is let y equal to 0 in that equation there. So what I get is 3x minus 4 by 0 equals 12. 4 by 0 we know is 0, so 3x is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 4. So now I have the x-intercept, which is 4, 0. If I want to find a y-intercept, I let x equal to 0. Now sometimes we write let x equal to 0 just so the examiner knows what we're doing. So 3 by 0 minus 4y equals 12. That 3 by 0 becomes 0, so that's minus 4y equals 12. Divide both sides by minus 4 and I get y is equal to minus 3. So my point there, so we know that x was 0 and y is minus 3, which is exactly the 2 points that we see on the graph. So that's how we find the x and y intercept. But that can become really, really handy for us when we need to have points. Say, for example, if I then asked you to go ahead and find the slope of this line. We now have 2 points that you can use to find the slope using the slope formula. Or we know that obviously you can go and manipulate this. And when you bring the 3x across and then divide across by minus 4, you should be able to get the slope of this line. Okay, it's your turn. So try and find the coordinates of the x-intercept. So the x-intercept, remember, is where y is going to be equal to 0. Pause this video, have a go, and when you're done, press play, and I'm going to go through the solution. Okay, so if we let y equal to 0, then what we have is 2x plus 3 multiplied by 0 equals 6. That will give me 2x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2 and I get x is equal to 3. So my coordinate is going to be 3, 0. And it's at that point that the line 2x plus 3y equals to 6 crosses the x-axis.